What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the #1 fat loss secret, which was summed up perfectly by one of my coaching clients, Tom, who's lost about 14 pounds so far working with me, and people are really starting to take notice. He's getting compliments from friends, family, coworkers. Just this morning, one of his coworkers came up to him and said, like, what's your secret? Like, how are you looking this good? And his response was discipline and hard work, which is always the case. Now, discipline and hard work are a product of having a strong mindset, and Tom has definitely adopted a growth mindset throughout this process, but it really begins with having that powerful reason why. He's got a couple powerful reasons why here. #1 is very much my powerful reason why when I lost 50 pounds 11 years ago, and that is that when he was looking in the mirror, the body that he saw staring back at him just wasn't congruent with what he saw himself as. So he wanted to kind of get back to that congruency, develop a physique that represents who he truly sees himself as, his body being a walking billboard for the core values that he has for himself. The other motivator is he's got a beach vacation coming up in a couple of weeks. And last summer, when he was on this beach vacation, he was on the beach wearing a shirt. Again, something I can totally relate to myself. That's where I was 11 years ago. Actually, it's a little longer than that myself, when I was still 50 pounds over fat, with my kids at the beach, wearing a tank top, like being embarrassed to take my shirt off at the beach. So he's got the two motivators there that are gaining pleasure and avoiding pain. So the pleasure is developing a physique that is congruent with who he sees himself as, like walking around as a billboard for representing the core values that he holds for himself, as well as the pleasure of being on that beach, feeling confident, proud, just experiencing the zest and the vitality that's coming with this transformation process, and being lighter, just feeling more energized. So those are great ways of motivators to gain pleasure, but he's also avoiding the pain. So a motivator is avoiding that pain of looking in that mirror and not seeing a physique that is congruent with what he sees for himself, and the pain of getting back to the beach and having to wear a shirt again, like being embarrassed to take your shirt off. So gaining pleasure and avoiding pain are powerful motivators. So he's got some strong, powerful reasons to achieve his goal. And a big part of mindset when it comes to wanting to put in that hard work and discipline is structuring your overall plan to lose that weight in a fun way. There's nothing he's doing that he's dreading, and we've built his plan to suit him best, to suit his time constraints, to suit his overall lifestyle. And he's mentioned that he needs his workouts to be less than 60 minutes. He works in some stretching in there. He works in some yoga. And I challenge him in a fun, effective way. It doesn't beat him down. And he's absolutely thriving from the process. But he's really got a growth mindset with everything that he's doing. Like a lot of the training, some of the different techniques are new to him. He's enjoying learning that. And he just views everything as winning or learning. There are no failures throughout this process, but he's also setting himself up for success. Like we're setting himself up for success with the workouts, like not having him do stuff that is just going to drag on forever, just take up too much time for his day, or doing things that he just doesn't enjoy. But with his nutrition as well, setting himself up for success by planning ahead. He's not afraid to do some meal prepping, especially with his busy, hectic schedule. He gets it done that way. He just knows that he's not going to be tempted to go off plan. Everything he needs is right there in front of him. And the best part, like this morning, is telling me that he's been tracking his calorie intake. He feels that suits him best at this time because it's still an education for him. It's keeping him on track in this moment. He's been watching my videos lately about how I'm talking about you don't need to track calories, but I recommend tracking calories over the short term, and he's still rolling with the calorie tracking right now because it suits him best, and he finds it fantastic to meal prep ahead of time, and you know your calorie target, you plan your meals out for the day, they're already made ahead, you know you're gonna hit your calorie target for the day if you don't deviate from that plan. So really setting himself up for success with all he's doing, and also setting himself up for success. Like it's not been like this perfect, smooth ride all the way through where he's got like nothing going on. He has like luncheons at work. He's had some parties that he's gone to, and he's really learned like he likes my approach of viewing the calorie intake on a weekly basis rather than just always trying to hit your calorie target, the same target each and every day, which I think is better over the long term, like for the most part, trying to be consistent with your intake, I think is really helpful. But if you have, you know, there's an event coming up, and you want to enjoy yourself, you want to make some extra room to enjoy those calories, you can either eat a little bit less throughout the day leading up to that event. You can give yourself an extra 500 calories to consume that day, knowing that you're probably going to eat a little bit more, you're probably going to indulge a little bit more. So you eat up to maintenance level calories, 500, maybe even 700 calories more. And then it just means that you're going to eat a little bit less either the following day or over the course of the next few days after that event, or even leading up to the event. You just, again, you're looking at your calorie target on the weekly basis. It served him really well. For him personally, he ate a little less leading up to that event because it was already planned, rather than wait till afterwards and reduce his calories afterwards. He's going, I'm going to eat a little less leading up to it. And what he noticed, again, it's all learning or winning. He started to notice, as I mentioned in some of my previous videos here, this was an approach that I followed every single week throughout my 12-week transformation, where I dropped about 20 pounds 5 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, the last time I ever had to go through a 12-week cutting phase. Every Friday night, I was out with the guys, so I knew I was going to be eating a bit more, and so I would reduce my calories throughout the week, be more aggressive with my deficit throughout the week, knowing that I have some extra calories to play around with on that Friday evening. So when I shared that experience, I mean, that worked for me. It was an effective approach for me to lose that 20 pounds during that 12-week cutting phase. But what I noticed is that after like 2 to 3 days, I'm feeling pretty good for 2 to 3 days after that overfeed. But then like towards the end of the week, like Wednesday and Thursday and definitely Friday, before going out with the guys, my workouts suffer a little bit. You're dragging a little bit. You don't have as much energy because you're being a little bit more aggressive with your deficit. So he knew from my experiences there was that potential for it to happen, and sure enough, he went through that experience as well. So it's just, you know what to be aware of. So during that time, like, he said, again, set himself up for success, knowing that, all right, towards the end of this week here, I'm probably not going to be hitting personal best with my weight training. If I have to reduce the weight a little bit, that's okay. I'm not going to get bummed out that my weight went down, my strength went down, my energy's down a little bit. You just know to expect these sort of things. So setting yourself up for success is a huge part of having a strong mindset that's going to get you through this journey. And part of that discipline and hard work involves sacrifices and suffering a little bit, and moments where you realize you have to delay gratification. Yes, it would be instant gratification if you enjoyed every donut that a coworker or someone brought over to you, but you know that the bigger gratification that you're going to experience is if you say no to that donut in that moment and you achieve your goal body, feeling your best, walking on that beach with your shirt off with confidence, pride, zest, vitality, walking around knowing that your body is a walking billboard for the core values that you hold near and dear to yourself. So yeah, Tom has faced a lot of these challenges, and there has been moments where he's had to turn those things down, and that is a sacrifice in that moment. There are moments where you may go to bed feeling a bit hungry. Again, you're going to just suffer a little bit with that little bit of hunger, knowing that there is going to be a payoff. There is going to be a reward in the end that is much more worth it than giving into the temptation in that moment. And definitely, there's no doubt about it, accountability plays a huge role in success here. I'm there for him. I mean, Tom communicates with me on a near daily basis, lets me know how he's feeling, lets me know any challenges he's facing. More than anything, Tom most mornings reaches out celebrating the little mini victories that he's been experiencing and how great he's feeling. And as he's mentioned to me time and time again, there's no greater motivator than progress. So he's always got that in his mind, that again, that little instant gratification could be right there, but progress is instant gratification as well. Like knowing that I turn that down, that's progress for me in that moment. It is moving me one step closer to my goal physique. So we've got the daily check-in kind of thing, or the near daily check-in. And I'm just really there to kind of talk him through some of those challenging moments, like when he's putting in the hard work and discipline, he's done everything right, and the scale weight just happens to go up for some reason. If you look on his chart, the 14 pounds there's ups and downs along the way. Some of it is from those planned overfeeds where there's a party or a luncheon or anything like that. And some of those spikes up are he's done everything the way he should do, and his weight still goes up for some unknown reason, whether he didn't empty his bowels or bladder completely before a weigh-in, maybe he's holding on to a bit more water. There could be maybe a little bit more stress, so a little bit of inflammation going on in his body. There's so many different factors that could impact his scale weight. So whenever that happens, I'm there to kind of talk him through it, let him know it's normal. When he's dragging his butt through a workout, talking it through, this is what you should expect when you have to reduce your calories for a few days there leading up to a party that you know you want to indulge in a little bit more, and just all the other little different challenges, the mental struggles that we deal with. Just having someone to kind of bounce those things off of and to just reassure you that to trust the process, it is working, and to really remind you of the progress that you're made up to that point. Because sometimes it may seem like you kind of plateaued or that you're stuck. And then I'll share the graph. I mean, look at, yeah, you've had an up and down here, but look at that trend going downwards. Like, you are definitely doing all of the right things. You don't need to change anything. You are moving in the right direction here. So sometimes it's just good to have that reassurance that the process is working. Trust it. Let's keep rolling with it. And then again, if any adjustments do need to be made, someone that you can count on to make those adjustments and then hold you accountable to following through with them. So accountability, no doubt about it, plays a role in there. But I mean, I'm just kind of there to bounce off the ideas off of it. It's all him, and it really comes down to having those strong reasons why, that congruency with how he sees himself, and then just the feelings of being on the beach with his shirt off, confident and proud, and just all the great feelings, the progress. He's just thriving from progress, I think, more than anything. So it's all on him. I'm just there with a bit of a blueprint, creating some fun workouts for him, just checking in on his food journal, just knowing that I'm looking through his food journal all the time, I think is a great form of accountability as well. So it's just a blast. It's what makes this career so freaking rewarding for me, is just to see the discipline and the hard work that others are putting in and how that makes them feel. It's really, you really realize the joy that you get out of this process. Like, the process itself is so much more rewarding than just the end result. The end result kicks butt. It's freaking awesome. Walking on the beach, feeling confident, proud of everything, but you realize how much you can celebrate throughout the entire process, and how there's so much more joy going through that experience as you are learning and growing as an individual there. So in conclusion, the #1 fat loss secret is to have a strong mindset, which is going to drive your discipline and hard work. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback and your personal experiences. Let me know what are your powerful reasons why you want to achieve your physique goals. And do me a favor, give Tom a good pat on the back, tell him congratulations for the hard work that he's put in up to this point, and encourage him to continue driving forward and achieving the end goal that he's really looking for himself. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.